Oh,
Namaskar.
yeah. This evening for about 1 hour and around 1 hour, a little more maybe, I will be sharing some Doha from the composition of Kabir Das. Doha which reflect on life, which makes you think on life. And I'll be drawing lessons from the Vedic background, which my Gurudev Sri Swami Dayananda Saraswati taught me and his students taught me. And of course, from all my readings and things like that. Let me briefly tell you about Kabir Das. Everything is known, but still. Kabir Das was found on the banks of the river Ganga in Kashi. The date is not very clear. Some people say it was 1378. Some people say it was 1440. But then the Samadhi day being 1518, 1440 seems more realistic because it becomes 78 years. 1378 means it becomes 140 years. So more realistic, we can take as 1440. He was found on the banks of the river Ganga by a middle-aged couple, Nima and Niru. They were weavers by profession. Childless couple, they were walking along the banks of the Ganga and they found this child. The child was gurgling with joy. A young child, maybe about 2 or 3 months old, it was gurgling with joy. And Nima being a motherless child, a childless mother, she picked up the child and held it to her bosom, and as there was no claimant, they took the child home. They used to bring it to the Ganga every day for the next few days, but there was no claimant. So decided to adopt the child. They named the child Kabir after Al-Kabir, the 37th name of Allah, the list of names given to Allah. He was named Kabir. And he was initially a young child. He was taught everything to do with the profession, weaver profession. He was illiterate. He was not otherwise educated. And he used to walk down the streets of Banaras. As a young boy, he was fascinated by the scene he saw in front of a Vedic guru, Ramanand Ji. Ramanand Ji's ashram, he used to teach a proper Vedic parampara to those Vedic Brahmin boys. Kabir, young boy, was fascinated by that. Young boys with tuft, bare-bodied, genoa across, then loincloth, and all of them chanting, Sahana Vabatu, Sahana Bhunatu, all these. It appealed to him so much. All 7-year, 8-year-old boys. He was also the same age. He was fascinated. And there was a butcher shop nearby. And that fellow used to say that don't dream of all that. You are not even allowed to go near that place, let alone learn. It is not meant for you and me. In fact, it is not even meant for lower caste Brahmins, Hindus. It is meant only for upper caste Hindus, not even for lower caste Hindus. But nevertheless, this boy was fascinated. He used to watch. Seeing him watch, another person told him, why are you watching? He says, what do I do to meet Ramanand Guru? Can I meet Ramanand Guru? And can I get an Upadesha from him? Because he heard all that. The culture is there, real next door neighbors, all of that. Can I get an Upadesh from him? He said, Upadesh from Ramanand Guru, that to a Muslim. Kaisa ho sakta hai? Kya baat karte? We are dreaming. But another person told him that whatever the Guru tells you at the Brahma Muhurta, 4 o'clock, that time, that is the mantra, that is the Upadesha. So this young boy used to watch Ramananda Guru every day. Ramananda Guru used to get up at 4 o'clock, go down to the Ganga, have a bath, and come back. So one day, when Ramananda Guru was going to the Ganga, this young boy lay down on the steps. On the way, Ramananda Guru got down. Ramananda Guru stepped on the boy. Young boy of 7-8 years. And he said, hey Ram, hey Ram. This fellow took Hey Ram as the mantra. and chanted so many times a day that in a few days he had chanted it 1 crore times. How many times did Tyagaraja chant, Hey Rama? Like that, this young boy chanted Rama, 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 and used to sit outside the ashram and watch Ramananda Guru. Rama in Sanskrit, Ramate iti Ramaha. That radiance from inside is Rama. So his Rama chanting made him radiant from inside. And the Guru of that caliber, Ramananda Guru, did not fail to notice it. He called that way. Come. The whole locality was stunned. Ramananda Guru, an upper caste Brahmin, calling this boy and saying, come. This boy came. He said, what's your name? He said, my name is Kabir. Arey, Umesh Kabir ji aaye hain. Thank you very much. I'm blessed. Umesh Kabir ji's presence, I'm so happy. He's another Kabir scholar. Then he called him and he said, Kya naam hai? He said, my name is Kabir. He said, what are you doing? He said, my father is a weaver here and I live close by. And I was the one you stepped on that day on the banks of the river and you said Ram Ram, and I have been chanting Ram Ram from that day. The Guru was so impressed. He said, what do you want to do? He said, I want to learn from you. He said, what do you want to learn? He said, whatever you teach. So Ramanand Guru said, this fellow is an Uttama Adhikari. And he said, I will teach you. And when he admitted Kabir, all these senior Brahmin students, their parents came and said, we will leave. Mind you, 15th century, 14th, 15th century. 500 for 1440. 1440, during the time Akbar was the ruler at that time. And they said, we will leave. Ramananji said, yes, you can leave if you want, because you people will get admitted in other places. But nobody will admit Kabir. So I will teach Kabir. They say Ramananji taught Kabir for 7 years after that. Normally, we get to spend 12 years in Gurukul. But Kabir spent 7 years and then Ramananji attained Samadhi. This boy went back to his profession. And that part of the story, that he learned profession. His mother used to give him money for buying something, used to spend it for somebody, used to get a good thrashing and things like that. And like all people, he got married, he had children and things like that. And something like from what he learned from the Guru and what he observed in the people, towards the evenings, under trees and things like that, he used to come and sing it out. His composition is written in Brij Bhasha and the related dialects. And he used to sing them out. And people used to gather around, listen to him. Slowly it became popular. And then the traveling bards, they started singing this. And it became popular over that area, that Indo-Gangetic plain, and went to Rajasthan as well. There are other stories attached to him. And there are 900 and more verses, the 2-line couplets, which are very well known to the people today. About 600 to 700 have been lost because he commented equally on both the prominent religious practices seen there. One was the Hindu practice, the other was the Muslim practice. He saw them and he commented on them. But we have to remember that it was a liberal, of course. Akbar was a liberal ruler, but still it was the Muslim rule. And criticism of anything to do with that practicing of that faith invited very harsh punishment. Punishment was death. How you die was left to the king. Could be stoned to death, beheaded, anything. So they say that much of Kabir's comments on the practices of Islam have been weeded out, but we don't have any authentic information on that. Now, out of those 900, I have picked it about 10 verses today. So 10 a day we can do for 90 days. A long time we can do. I can do for a year and a half or almost for 2 years. I picked up 10 which are directly relevant to our day-to-day life. Okay, not a criticism on anybody. It is meant to be a reflection of our own practice, purely a reflection. Okay. My friend Karthikeyan is here. He is from Kolkata. We are classmates. And we've known to each other for how many years? 60, 50 years now. We have grown growth into our 60s from school. And he has arranged a similar program for me in Kolkata under the auspices of Shankara Institute of Philosophy. And I'll be doing an online program on June 13th. I'll send you the link. There it will be another, will give you 10 more verses on Guru Bhakti and things like that. So today's 10 verses are reflection on our daily life. There'll be some stories attached to it, which are my stories which I have created. And I'll link it with the Dohe. I'll also try to link it to some Vedic granthas wherever possible, wherever necessary. So first story goes like this. Shiva and Parvati were seated in Kailasha. And Parvati was complaining to Shiva. She said, you are always favoring Ganga. You have spread the word that whoever baths in Ganga, his papa will go. You are not giving me the same privilege. Okay. So don't ask me in which Puran and all this is written. Okay. So then Shiva said, okay, let's go to Kashi and see. So Shiva and Parvati came down to Kashi as a very elderly couple. And they went to get immersed themselves in the Ganga. The current washed Shiva. So everybody jumped into the water to save Shiva. Parvati said, wait. Only a person who has done no papa should touch Shiva. If you have done papa and you touch Shiva, your head will explode, Shiva's head will also explode. So people did not bother about Shiva's head exploding, but they are worried about their head exploding. So nobody touched. One Chandala, he jumped in, rescued Shiva and brought him to the shore. And Parvati asked him, have you done no papa whatsoever? He said, I have done only papa. But I have heard that if you dip in the Ganga, the pap will go away. Okay, so before touching him, I dipped in the Ganga, all my papa gone. I am a pure soul now. So, bhakti doesn't come like that. It comes from a strong faith in the system and in Ishvara. And this must be inculcated from childhood. For instance, let's say you are suffering from backache. Will you go for gym then? The doctor will say, don't go to the gym, rest at home. But if you have been going to gym all along, then he will say, okay, for some time you listen to different kind of exercises. So if you regularly practice, then the gym crisis time will be helpful. If you are, let's say, there are so many musicians here. Kala is a music teacher. Okay, imagine, I want to do kacheri without any practice. She will say, okay, do only I will listen, nobody will. I listen because I am sympathetic to your friend. Otherwise, even I won't listen. So there is a beautiful thing. Unless you are prepared, okay, prayers won't work. Prayers should start when happy times and not in crisis. Start in happy times so that in crisis it becomes natural. It's a beautiful prayer there. Doha there. I'll sing it in a popular tune. Okay. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi. Jo sukh mein sumiran kare, dukh kahe ko hoye kabira, dukh kahe ko hoye. If you learn to do prayers right from childhood, prayers will naturally and spontaneously come to you. It is said in the Vedas that at the last stage, Antakale, if you say the name Krishna, Krishna, Rama, 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 you will end up in Vaikuntha. If you say Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, you will end up in Kailasha. But what is the guarantee that you will say Shiva and Rama at the last time? Unless you have practiced saying it from the beginning. What will happen during the last time? You will say, Ayyo. You will end up in some other place. So, prayers are inculcated from childhood. Learn to pray. And what is the art of praying? And what do I ask for? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Chaturvida bhajante mam. 4 types of people seek me. Arti, Artharthi, Jigyasu, Jnani cha. Arti is a fellow who is constantly coming. Kamar mein dard hai, gale mein dard hai. I don't have this, I don't have this. He is an Arti. That prayer also works. You will get relief. Artharthi, one who constantly wants more money. Ek bangla hai, he wants another bangla. 1 degree, he wants 1 more degree. The third is a Jigyasu, who is inquiring, Ishwar, where are you? What are you? The 4th role is a Jnani. Or 4 type of people pray to me. But I am dear to the Jigyasu and the Jnani. So what is the prayer? Kabir, coming from a different dharma, understood this very well. So, what is it that you ask? Imagine we are all seated here, and then katang, 1 more. Somebody signs it. Lord Krishna signs it. What will you ask him? Teach me how to play flute. When Ishvara appears in front of you, what will you ask him? This calls for maturity, emotional maturity. So when you ask Sukhume Sumiran, when you ask for things in good times, what will you ask for? If you are praying in good times, what will you say? Yes, Sukh Kayam Rahe. May I be as happy as I am now. Whereas during Dukh time, what will you ask? If you are having a headache, you say, may this headache go. May this backache go. That's the only thing you have. No, either headache, this back, that ache, or some family problem. Or interest has not come right in time. You have received 1 rupee less in remittance. Artha Kama problem only, no? But if you learn to pray during good times, what will be the prayer? Happy times. Yeah, I am thrilled. And Ishvara says, what do I have? I say, yaar, tu mere saath ho. So, Sukh mein sumera, Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, Sukh mein kare na koe. Jo Sukh mein sumiran kare, Dukh kahe ko hoye. Where is the question of sorrow when you learn to pray all the time and regularly? So prayer as a regular feature of human behavior. Human behavior, human being is one unique being which has a faculty of choice. You can choose to do something. You can choose not to do something. You can choose to do something different. Let's also remember, all the time you are going to do choices. You have to choose something. And when you make a choice, there will be result, outcome. Outcome can be pleasant, can be unpleasant. We want only the pleasant and don't want the unpleasant. Okay. So can I ask Ishvara for a unique thing? May I always be led to proper decisions. May I be able to take proper decisions so that unpleasant decision won't come to me at all. My decisions are all proper. It is not within my buddhi, it is Ishvara's buddhi. Can we do that? These are certain thoughts I would like to leave you with. There are other dohas coming. Okay, so Dukh mein sumiran. Okay, now the next doha which I picked up today is our attitude view towards life and what we dream about. What you ask the younger generation, there are so many elders here and there are younger generations that say, what should we achieve? Achieve karo. This you do, that you do. In fact, this morning I read a post, somebody had said, in another 10, 15 years, this generation people will be all gone. We'll all be gone. There'll be a new generation. Whether that generation will understand what is called writing letters. Will they know what is writing a letter? They'll sing a song, Likh ke jo khat tujhe, but pata hoga kya likhna kya hota hai? Do they understand this? I showed this to a fellow. He said, kya hai pata nahi hai. Thermometer hai kya? I said, nahi yaar, fountain pen. I said, the fountain pen. He said, how do you fill ink in that? He said, ink dalna padta. I said, yes, you open eyedropper. So I had to show him what's an ink. So these are things are gone now. Everybody is stuck in gizmos. This generation is going. So looking at the way people are living their lives, Kabir sang a Doha. You know what did he sing? He said, Chalti chakki hi dekh kar diya Kabira roye. Chalti chakki dekh kar diya Kabira roye. दो पाटन के बीच में साबुत बचा न कोई कबीरा, साबुत बचा न कोई. Somebody said, don't take life seriously. You will never come out alive anyway. On the date of birth, there is only one thing sure. One day we'll all go. Nothing else is sure. Whether we grow older, will there be hair or no hair? Will you achieve or not achieve? This is the path. There was a fellow called Trishanku. He came to Vishwamitra and told him, I must be able to rise to heaven with this body. Vishwamitra said, okay, I'll give you power. When he went there, Indra said, nothing doing. With this body, you cannot enter heaven. He was sent back. And Vishwamitra said, I will not let you come back. This fellow is hanging upside down somewhere there. They say Trishanku Swarga. Like that, we are all there. Stuck, not clear about the goals. Okay, it is not a negative verse. A lot of people think this is a negative verse. There's nothing negative about this verse. It only says, learn to face realities. What is the reality? This system called Sharira. This is called Sharira. Sharira comes from the meaning of Sharira in Sanskrit. Kshiyate iti Sharira. That which decays is Sharira. There are three things which happen to all of us here without exception. Without exception. Growing, graying, going. There is no fourth stage. Growing, graying, nothing left. There will be a time when somebody will say, Kitna acha aadmi. When I'm alive, you say, no. Kitna acha aadmi hai bolo. Kya tha kyun bolte? So Kabir says, knowing this reality, people are working for what I am not sure. Do patan ke beech, between life and death, everything will be crushed. It makes you reflect. What is my real goal in life? What is my purushartha? Purushaihi arthyate iti purushartha. What is my artha? What is it that I want to get out of life? Otherwise, you will end up singing songs. There was a nice song, good singer. But even composer ulta seedha likhta hai sometimes. Nice song, but I don't sing that song. Zindagi kya hai? Gham ka dariya. Arey gham ka dariya kahan hai yaar? Khushi hai. You can convert it into gham ka dariya. So, Though everything is going to be end. And everything is not just this thing. Relationships are going to end. Your possessions are going to end. Your positions are going to end. The sweet voice of today is going to disappear someday. Eyesight will go. Everything will go. That doesn't mean negative. We just need to be mature enough to grow into every stage. Maturity, emotional growth, emotional maturity. There are 6 stages of life for all of us without exception. The 6 stages of life, it is described beautifully in Sharira Dharma. It is said, Asti, we all will occupy some space. Jayate, we will be born. Vardate, we will grow. Viparinamate, changes will happen. Apakshiyate, decay. Vinashyati, death. This is the reality. If this is the reality, why don't you live it properly? Bhagya Govinda, there is a beautiful stick by Shankara, in which he says, Yavat pavano nivasati dehe, tavat prichhati kushalam yehe. As long as your breathing will say, kaise hai? Gatavati payo deha apaye. Once the vayu goes out of the body, bharya vibhyati tasmin kaya. The lady who's close to the body will say, Kab kar rahe ho funeral? This is the worth of the body. Don't be indifferent to the body. At the same time, don't overvalue the body. Accept the body as Ishvara's gift, Ishvara Prasada, temple. Take good care. Dark complexion ho, white complexion ho. Ishwar ki den hai. Because of we people are not willing to accept our dark complexion. One company marketed a cream and became rich. And said, usko apply karo, you will look lovely, fair, and you will get married also. That means dark skin people don't get married, is it? This is a reflection. What are your priorities? Okay. So after these two, so naturally we ask the question, what should I do? Should I do something in life? What should I do? You have told me, Sumiran karo, then the body is anyway going to perish. If these are the two realities of life, khana kaun khilayega? That's also a reality, no? What should I do? So the world these days, everybody is rushing towards making more money. Say, make more money. Be somebody. Be worth something. Your net worth. All these things are calculated. The first thing that comes in the paper, Sensex has gone today. It can make more money. Money, 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 money. There's a nice song from ABBA. Money, money, money. There's a nice song. Okay, that's it. So to that, what does Kabir have to say? He says, Sai udhan sachiye, jo aage ko hoy. Sai udhan sachiye, jo aage ko hoy. शीश चढ़ाया पोटली ले, जात न देखा कोई कबीरा, जात न देखा कोई. Somebody owns 5 bungalows, farmhouses, 3 Rolls Royce, 2 Mercedes, 1 Khatara scooter also. So on his death, do you put it all into bury it along with him? They will bury you and take all these things away. Nobody takes Artha Kama to another world. You forget about another world. Forget about another world. Imagine you are sleeping in a very comfortable AC room. Why? Many of us are living in comfortable AC room. Double bed, triple bed, everything. And that night, you are dreaming that you have a terrible backache and you are lying on rock hard floor. Can you take your AC and your bedroom to that dream of yours? It's your bed, your bangla. Take it to your dream world. You can't take your possession to your dream world. What? Swargaloka you will take. What you have here must be spent here, must be finished here. You can't take it to another world. This is the reality he's saying. Sheesh chadaya potli le jaat na dekha koi. I've never seen people carry their wealth to another world. What do you carry to the another world? I don't know where I'm going. What do you carry? It says you carry punya phal, papa phal. There's a nice story there. One fellow went to heaven. Okay, and then in heaven he saw some beautiful restaurants there also. Indian, Mughlai, Chinese, all restaurants he saw. And all the restaurants they have said, come and eat whatever you like, free. The fellow was thrilled, so thrilled. He went inside and ate. And when generally, when people are given free, they can eat 3 times what they normally do. You have to pay for it, means you will eat half. But when you are free, means extra free, and 2 pan de do. I don't know if you are eating golgappas, a multimillionaire also, after eating golgappa, he will ask for 1 free. I say free mein de do na, thoda pani pila do. So when you are asking golgappa wala for free, there also you will go and ask for free. So a fellow ate. He ate so much that he could not move. And when he got up, one of those kinkaras, Yama kinkaras, he came and gave a bill. He said, "Arey, yahan bhi cheating karte ho aap log. Outside you have written it is free, and now you are saying charge." He said, "No." And then he looked at it. He said, "I have eaten so many and you are charging me 3 times. He says, "Sir, look at it carefully. It is not your bill. It is your father's bill. Remember, what you take to the other world, what you leave here, your children will pay for it. You leave assets, the tax department will recover from whoever inherits it. Somebody runs away from India without paying loans. Anybody with that surname will be abused in India. So we leave behind our good name, reputation. So sheesh charaya potli le jate na. Then what should I do? Should I not earn at all? What should I earn? Should I earn at all? Should I not build a house? Should I not have a bank balance? Should I not invest in mutual funds? Then what is stock market there for? For Yama to come and invest. So what is that? Kabir said something for that also. He didn't say stock market, but he says like this. He says, he says, Sai itna dijiye, jame kutumb samay. Sai itna dijiye, jame kutumb samay. मैं भी भूखा ना रहूं, साधु न भूखा जाए कबीरा, साधु न भूखा जाए. Let me earn enough. There is a beautiful English word. It's called financial adequacy. I have enough. Enough for what? Me, my family, and for a guest. Atithi, that is the name of the guest. Somebody who comes without notice, I can tell him, come, let's share some food. Surely I have something to share with you. Sadhuna bhuka jaye. Anybody who comes to my house doesn't go hungry. That is called financial adequacy. See, among our Hindu danam, they say dana nam annadanam shreya. Among the dana, annadana, why is it shreya? Imagine, keep pouring, rice, laddu. At one point, you'll say, enough. Enough, you are giving money dana. After collecting 10 crore, he'll say, iske paas bahut hai, lekin dekho kanjoos 10 crore diya hai. He will collect 100 crores from you. That Salah is so rich, he must be having 1,000 crores. That's why he has given me 100 crores. That all other dana, you will say, humko aur do. Annadana, you will say enough. So he says, let me earn enough so that I don't go hungry. People depending on me don't go hungry. Anybody who comes to my house also doesn't go hungry. Wisdom. He talked a lot about wisdom, not degrees, only about wisdom. Okay. And he said, okay, now I should go earn. I talked about bhakti. Then all of us have things to do, agenda to do. What is next week's work? What is next week's work? What is my next work? What should I do? When should I do? How should my appointments diary be? Kabir says your appointment diary should have only one page. Only one page. You know what is written there? He says, Kaal kare so aaj kare so ab. Kaal kare so aaj करे सो अब पल में पर ले आवेगी बहुरी करेगा कब रे कबीरा बहुरी करेगा कब. So when will be your unfinished business? There is no guarantee how long you will live. There is no guarantee. Somebody once came to King Yudhishthira and said, I need some help. Can you help? Yudhishthira said, come tomorrow this time, I'll help you. Bhim went into town ringing the bell. My brother Yudhishthira, son of Yamadharma Raja has conquered death. He will teach you secret. So the entire population came to him. Teach us a secret. He said, who said I know the secret? He said, your brother has announced all over town. Then he called him, what did you announce? He said, no, I heard you tell somebody come tomorrow. So when you know for sure you are going to be alive tomorrow, and you've asked him to come tomorrow, I said, you know the secret of living for one more day. Therefore, I announced to the world. So when good work is to be done, do it now. When to do prayers? 6 o'clock, 15 minutes from now. Don't go away for prayer when I'm talking to you. Don't wait till tomorrow morning. 6 o'clock do your prayer. What you ask for? Ask for sadbuddhi, so that I know how to earn enough. I know how to have dhanam. If you want to do good for people, do it now. Kaal kare so aaj kare so ab. So once somebody read this, you know what did he do? He stole from the money box of his boss and ran away that day. He said, humne padha, aaj kare so ab. So what I have to do in the evening, I've done now, robbed the bank and run away. So don't misinterpret. Meaning, never postpone good things. Okay? So many of us are, all of us here are seniors to seniors. You have got some friends you have not met in the last 30 years. You wish you had greeted them. Hey, picked up a phone and greet them today. Ab, greet them. Hey, how are you? Hey, why suddenly, they felt like calling. I felt like calling, so I'm calling you. Call friends. You feel like talking to a grandchildren. Pick up the phone and say, hi dear, what do you want? Nothing. I just wanted to wish you, because they think you're calling because you want something. So, I want only to greet you. I want to wish you. Don't put so good morning standard. Put inventive. I write to all my friends, Suprabhat. When Suprabhat becomes boring, I write in Spanish, hola. At least they will ask, what is the meaning? So what is the meaning of hola? Something you ask. If you want to greet somebody, okay, especially people close to you, greet them now. That was a nice thing. That was such a nice thing to say. Today, our Kantaji sent me a beautiful message on YouTube. I told her it's such a nice thing to say. Why wait till tomorrow or meet her on Sunday? It's such a nice thing to say. So many people give you appreciation for your singing. Simply write back saying, don't say routine thank you. Sab bolta hai thank you. It is such a nice thing to say. You are so kind. Dil se kahiye. Kal kare so aj kare so ab. Leave this radiance of goodwill with people. Greet people. Leave them with a sense of joy. Okay? Okay. Now he speaks. How do you speak to people? We said, I said, speak to so-and-so. So-and-so is a good speaker. So-and-so is a good speaker. So-and-so is a good speaker. How should you speak? How should your communication skills be? It is also useful in your corporate life, personal life, relationship life. Wonderful. Kabir has something wonderful to tell you. He says, all these are known. I studied it. I and our friend Karthik and we all studied it in class 9. That's about 52 years ago. Remembered it. Our Hindi teacher's name was Chaubeji. So some of my friends tell me, only you heard Chaubeji. All of us were doing mischief that time. So this is somebody, all of us should focus. Aisi bani boliye, man ka aapa khoi. ऐसी बाणी बोलिए मन का आपा खोए औरन को शीतल करे आपहु शीतल होए कबीरा आपहु शीतल होए. You know what keeps people apart? Reserved. Let him talk first. Let him talk first. Let him talk, I will talk. You're going for a morning walk. And with your walking stick, and you say, good morning with the stick. That fellow thinks, he says, I will hit you. He says, I will hit you twice. And they stop talking for the rest of the day. Let him talk. You do the mistake. He says, let him talk, I will talk. Whenever there is a mistake on our side, there are 3 parts to an apology. Remember this. We remember 2 parts. We don't remember the 3rd part. Aisi Bani Boli is about the 3rd part. First part, I am sorry. That all of us say. Like in Bihar, what happens? I'm sorry if there is somebody from Bihar. It's just an example. It doesn't happen in Bihar. I'm traveling in a bus. Somebody steps on my foot. I told him, why are you standing on my foot? He says, sir, garib aadmi hai, sir. So garib aadmi hai, to aap mujhe sar mein khade ho jaoge. Standard, garib aadmi, I can do anything these days. He will run me down in his car. I say, kya ho gaya? Garib aadmi hai, sir. He will knock my car. He will say, sir, I am only the driver, sir. You take money from the owner. So, I'm sorry. So what? So what to do now? I'm sorry I hurt you. That is not the way to say sorry. I am sorry. Second part. It was my mistake. Please have the openness to say that it was my mistake. Then comes the most important part, which will make the other person sheetal. Tell me, what can I do to correct it? 3 parts. Any apology has 3 parts. I'm sorry. It was my mistake. Tell me, what should I do to correct it? Apahu sheetal hoye, auran ko sheetal kare. Cool the other person. Be cool yourself. It's a 2-way street. Learn to speak well. Tell people, wonderful, that was very nice of you. Don't give insincere appreciation, okay? This is for many of us who are in various singing forums. 100 people will sing. 99 will sing without any swar, tal, anything. And you tell all of them, great singing. What will the 100th fellow think? The 100th fellow will say, this person's appreciation is all false. Because you are saying awesome to all the 99 ordinary singers. The one good singer, what will you tell him? He will also awesome. He will say, this is an awful greed. Let's learn to use words. You know, what do I put in every place? Whenever there is group singing, I say, I deeply appreciate the sincere and diligent effort. Everybody is sincere. Everybody is. And personally, you say, if this note you reach here, fine. That too only if they ask you. Apahu sheetal hoye, और उनको शीतल करे. Otherwise, we are very hurtful, very, very hurtful, especially to people near us. Does it sound good if I sing? I found a very senior fellow saying, yeah, it sounds good when you sing, but you don't sing, it sounds better. अरे कितना hurtful है. So hurtful. Does it sound good? Yes, it sounds good. Definitely sounds good. There is always scope for it. Even Tansen can improve. Okay, receptivity. Wonderful verse on communication. Okay. Okay, now there is another nice story. This happened on the banks of the river Kashi. I have about 10, 12. We'll find opportunities to share at some point of time. Even if I don't complete, 10 doesn't matter. Few, आप अच्छी तरह सुन लीजिए, you should be able to remember all of them. Of course, it will be available as a recording. You should be able to quote all this. Okay. And then, yeah, there was a sadhu. Let's not use the word sadhu, a holy man, or some wise man sitting on the bank of river Kashi, on the banks of the river in Kashi. And he used to say, Ram, 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 or whatever, with the rosary beads. Right opposite him was a dancer's house, courtesan. And while counting, he used to have a special pebble. Customer number 1 going, customer number 2 going, he used to count the customers going to the dancer's house. And both the dancer used to pray and he also used to pray. And so Shiva and Parvati came to give them moksha. I'm going to take you to Kailash with me. So both of them were standing in the queue. Shiva called that lady, that courtesan, dancing girl, otherwise a fallen woman. He said, come, you are going to come with me to Kailash. This fellow said, I have been doing Shiva, 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 and you are calling her? So he said, look at the book, accounting book. Even I have an accounting book, automatic entry made there. Every time she was entertaining a customer, she used to say, hey, Ishwar, because of some papa, I am required to do this papa karma. Give me mukti someday. Whereas you are doing Ram, 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 customer number 1, Ram, 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 customer number 2, Ram, 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 customer number 3. Who is the more punya papi? So it's a very beautiful doha for that. It says, Mala Perat Jug Bhaya Mitana Man Ka Mel Mala Perat Jug Bhaya Mitana Man Ka Mel Kar Ka Man Ka Dar Kar Man ka pher kabira man ka pher. They're all doing physical rituals. Oh Guru ka isko maro na yaar. I'm doing puja, no? And somebody is playing noise loudly. I abuse him. That fellow should go deaf. That's why he's playing loudly, no? He also wants you to go deaf. So, kar ka man ka dal kar, leave the external. That doesn't mean tomorrow you change. There are a lot of people vesha, put vesha. In the Bhaja Govinda, there is still, it says, Kashayambara Bahukrita Vesha. Please remember, Udhara Nimittam, they are of all the other pet only. So remember, so don't do vesha, this is my thinking, this is my action. Be together, integrated as a person. This is called being aligned. Arya did not come from Mongolia. Okay. Somebody has written history. Aryans came from Mongolia, drove the Dravidians. Kya bakwas history? I don't know who has written this history. Arya means Arjavat Arya. An aligned person is an Arya. Arjava, one who is straight in thought, word, and deed. So if you are aligned, Ishvara is with you. Okay, the last verse for the day. This is about, the expression used these days very commonly by everybody. For somebody who doesn't accept my faith, I call him a non-believer. So somebody asked, do you believe in God? I said, no. The fellow was shocked. He said, you're a Bhagavad Gita teacher, you don't believe in God. I said, do you believe in God? He said, yes, sir. I said, both you and I are both believers only. You believe there is God. I believe there is no God. Nobody has final knowledge. Remember that. Okay, another. I believe in God. Do you believe in God? It can be yes, it can be no. Let's say you say yes. Do you believe in my God? I believe in your God also. First of all, I don't believe your God, my God. But okay, if you want it, I believe in your God also. No, that is not acceptable. If you don't believe in my God, you are a non-believer. If you are a non-believer, you are a non-believer. There is a particular word for it. I will sing the Doha, you find what the word is. So Kabir says, Kabir soi peer hai. So that person alone is a peer. Peer means a monk, a saintly person. Kabir soi peer hai. Jo jane par peer. Jo par ki pida jane. One who knows the other man's pain. Kabir soi peer hai. Jo jane par peer. So par peer na janai. One who doesn't understand the other man's pain. Jo par peer na janai. You know what do they call him? So kafir be peer kabira. So kafir be. One who does not understand others' pain is a kafir. Not who doesn't believe in one particular faith. Do you feel my pain? You are a peer. You don't feel my pain? You are be-peer. One who does not understand others' pida. It is not just understanding others' pida. Human pida of the entire Srishti. There is a war going on somewhere. Do you understand? At least feel for the pain of the affected country. There are abductions, killings, picking a gun. There are 29 students shot day. What kind of civilization? People want to go there for earn a living. Somebody comes and bombs another country. What? This is happening. That's because we have lost the capacity to feel for the other. I don't want sympathy. Sympathy is in Tamil, they say, na, the fellow, somebody has fallen down, broker is, we want empathy. Empathy doesn't mean you have to rush if you cannot. At least if you pick up the person's telephone number and call home and say, see, I find this person, this is the ID card here. They are taking him to, just stay long enough to make this telephone call. They have taken him to this place. If you go there, you can see. The moment somebody falls down, people target the mobile phone and run. Can you take the mobile phone and keep it in your hand to hand it over to the right person? Can you keep his value? At least can you note down the address where they are taking, who is taking? When you ignore the other's pain, your pain gets ignored. There's a beautiful story. There was a chicken. There was a rat in a farm. The rat went and told the chicken, the horse, everybody, hey, the farmer is buying a trap to catch the rat. The horse, the goat, the chicken, all this is your problem. Now, why are you telling this? So finally, what happened? After the bait, the rat was trapped and killed, and all the grain was saved. So farmer said, let us celebrate. But cut the goat, cut the chicken, feed everybody. The rat said, he is buying a trap, be careful. So when there is danger somewhere in the country, and I am warning you there is danger. अरे उसका problem है यार. It is not my problem. That's what happened 30 years ago in India. They are being thrown out of their country, of their homeland. If you had been thrown out, you would have known. And they had to wait 30 years to make a movie from it. I want to make overt reference to anything. This is what happened. When you ignore the other man's pain, your pain will also get ignored. Remember this verse. Kabir soi peer hai, jo jane par peer. Oh, jo par peer na jane, so kafir be peer kabira. So kafir be peer. One last one for the road. Everybody understands. Okay? But we'll still give you the means. A lovely verse which all of us must. Who should you learn from? Okay? Who should you learn from? These days, when suppose somebody wants to invite me for a speech. Sir, how many lectures you have given, sir? What degree are you carrying? Are you a doctorate? Are you this? Are you that? Nobody asks me, what do you know? The fate of so many people. So to them, Kabir says, Jati na pooche sadhu ki, pooch lijiye gyan. Jati na pooche sadhu ki, pooch lijiye gyan. Mol karo talwar ki, pada rehne do myan kabira. How much does the scabbard cost? Is it nice, sharp enough that nobody is bothered? Do I know? He's a big degree. He will get me good advertisements and sponsorships. He will get me a sponsorship. So Kabir Das, he lived up to 1518. Then 1518, he had a samadhi. The story goes that both the team, the Hindus, Muslims, they all wanted to do his antim sanskar. After the fight was over and they moved the shroud, they found only flowers there. That's the beauty, Avatara Purusha. Our land is so rich with such sadhus, Kabir, Rahim, Tulsidas, rich land, wealth of wisdom. Swami Vivekananda once said, the day India realizes its real potential, India will rule the world. You know what is India's true potential? Guru of the world. Jnani. This is a Jnana Bhumi. This has reference in the Vedas. Only country referred to in the Vedas. You will say India or Indian wrote it maybe. 5,000 years ago it was referred. This place was referred to as Jambu Dvipa Bharata Varsha. Jambu Dvipa, surrounded by water. 2/3 water, earth. In that Jambu Dvipa, Bharata Varsha is the center of Jnana. Artha Kama can come everywhere. Jnana comes only from this great land. And great Mahatmas have been born here. And this is the land of the Mahatmas. If we remember the Mahatmas, if we conduct ourselves as Mahatmas, we don't have to become a Mahatma. Conduct ourselves properly. That will be the lesson we'll give the world. Thank you very much for being with me and sharing thoughts and being with me. Hopefully there'll be more opportunities and for us to meet in this forum. Anybody would like to share?
What a fascinating lecture. Wonderful. It was spellbound and we're completely glued to our seats.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, Mr. We would love to listen more and more from you. Okay?
Yes, absolutely. Beautiful session. Beautiful session.
No words, Mohan. I don't have anything to say,
Yeah.
It is, I don't know. Too good.
Too good. Too good, Mohan.
Absolutely wonderful, Mohan.
Wonderful, wonderful, Mohan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Let
you.
us,
Very
let us
much.
thank seniors today for making this program come. Please, all of you join seniors today, all our programs very regularly.
Yes, God bless you.
God bless you. God bless
God
you.
bless you.
Close to divine atmosphere.
Yes.
Very nice.
Exactly.
Thank
Really
you.
enjoyed more.
May Ishvara be with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful, sir.
Thank you everyone for joining. I'm ending the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.